to Guyana, leaders of the religious community present here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen all. It seems to me not so long ago, how many months it was, that we were here to turn the sod for the construction of this campus that is partially completed at this time. And over this short period of time, you have made tremendous progress. And I would like to congratulate the company for the purposeful way they have gone about their business and to achieve in this relatively short period of time what we're seeing here now. When we came here, it was just an open piece of land and we operated under a tent to turn the sod. So congratulations on this important step and milestone that you have taken. And I think, and I am informed, that when this is completed, this will probably be the largest such facility in the world. And again, I want to congratulate Qualfon on the work that they're doing and to make Guyana the place that will have the largest such facility in the world. Congratulations once again. And thank you. This is important for us in many, many ways. As was mentioned from this podium just now, that we all recognize the importance of developing the human capital. I have not been tired of saying this publicly wherever I go, that it goes to our very philosophy of development in my party, my government, that to the very core, that to the very foundation of our philosophy is the belief that the most important factor for development is not just all the natural resources that we have, because people tend to talk about that a lot. And it is true, it's important. I'm not trying in any way to play down the importance of those things. But life has shown us that the most important factor for development is the quality of people that a country will have. And that, to demonstrate that, you can only look around the world and look at countries that are developed and rich and look at countries that are poor. And I will tell you some of the richest countries endowed with most natural resources in South America and Africa sometimes have some of the worst kind of poverty that you have seen. And there are other countries with very little resources, natural resources. Countries like Japan, where you have a high standard of living, powerful economies, because they have a highly educated and highly qualified workforce. And this is the direction that we have been going. If you look at our record over the years, you will see that we have focused the biggest section of our budget spending goes to develop our social sector. And that is deliberate because of the fact that that is where we affect most of the lives of our people. And in that social sector, education gets the biggest chunk of funds. And that is why over the period of time, we have not only achieved the Millennium Development Goal of having universal primary education, but we are right now on the very verge of having universal secondary education in Guyana. And our people very, very soon, the minimum level of education in this country will be a secondary education level that we have. And as you heard, how important that is, because it is important to attract investors to take advantage of a quality workforce that we are creating in our society. And that is one of the ways that we partner with private sector, local and foreign private sector. That while we know that many private sector companies spend money on training, the bulk of the investment in training and education comes from the government. And very soon too, in this particular area of information and telecommunication technology, we are investing a lot because we see the benefits that it can have to every aspect of our economy. It helps us to modernize our traditional industry. And it will also help us to create new industries. It will help us to provide services in a more efficient way, in a much more efficient kind of way. And government is looking towards, very soon, putting more and more of its services on the internet and the website. One of the things that we are doing that too is to fight this perception of corruption so that people can apply for things like work permits, visas, house lots, etc. on the internet, on the web, and they can have those services, make it more efficient, and cut back on this perception that has been being nourished from politically as well. And we need to do more of that. And in the near future, we have already started, but every single secondary school in this country, in the not too distant future, will be equipped with IT labs, every one of them. And all of our people, we're working towards to ensure that they're IT literate. IT literacy is becoming extremely important for our workers of today, and it will be even more important in the future as well. So we will invest to ensure that companies like Qualfon will be able to attract even more quality investors, even more quality customers, to know that we will be here and we will be capable here of providing a world-class service in Guyana. You know, recently, in January of this year, I was in India. And while there, I had the opportunity of meeting with Prime Minister Modi. And one of the things that we have discussed is the establishment of a world-class IT center here in Guyana that can probably serve the rest of South America and the Caribbean. And we're looking to put that investment right in this area, and where companies like this will benefit from even higher levels of training, and we can take on even much more customers and jobs. But now that in developing the human capital, while education is extremely important, there are other aspects too, like health services. And we have been investing in that, and you know that we are even moving to establish a specialty hospital to allow ordinary people of our country to have access to the marvels of science and technology, particularly those that are now developing in the medical field. Some amazing things are happening. I mean, I even read, it blew my mind, on my same very trip to India, on my way back, you know, it's a long flight. I had some time to read some stuff that I normally don't get the time to read at home. And there I found that there was a report reporting a medical article in a medical journal in the United States, where they're saying now that scientists are experimenting in bringing back the dead. This is amazing what is actually taking place. That we have reached that stage where man minds is pushing even in that direction. So we want our people to have the benefits of the genius of mankind. Many of the sickness that people died from in the past, they do not have to necessarily do so now. And we're trying to put that investment to make that service possible for a period in Guyana. And then I see some colleagues here from Ministry of Housing who have done so much and who have worked long and hard. Like you say, your workforce are the real heroes. And these are the real heroes too in the delivery of many of these services, who have helped to have people having their own roof above their heads. And as I have said before, it's only when you lived in rented apartments and rented houses do you appreciate the security of having your own roof over your head. And the staff at the Ministry of Housing has been doing a fantastic job. I was so proud a few days ago when I was on the West Demerara, when they had their one-stop shop. And there I saw people as I was speaking to them waiting to be interviewed. And some of them were 24 years old, some 26 years old. And when I reflect on my own life, that I didn't own my own home until I was 48 years old. And now we have our young people who don't have to worry when they see their landlords coming in their yards, whether their rents will be raised, who can be more secured, and by being more secured in their own surroundings, can be more creative and can develop themselves ever more. So I want to say thanks to all the service providers of the government in creating this atmosphere where we have this situation that we have now. And our success in some of these areas are now creating new challenges for us, new challenges. For instance, at one time in this country, not so long ago, sugar had no competition for labor, no competition for labor. So it was good for it to remain as a labor-intensive industry, and it made sense for it to remain as a labor-intensive industry. No longer today. That is not the case today. Today, there's a lot of competition for labor. And that is where information technology and mechanization, modernization of these traditional industries must take place now. These industries will need more educated workforce, as we will begin to already started, but more and more it will happen that when we will be harvesting mechanically and not only by muscle power, and doing a lot more stuff, adding value to our products. We will need the efficiency that information technology will bring to us. And information technology, as we have seen, a practical example here of its ability to create new jobs, create new sectors, create new industries in Guyana. And that is, we want to create a highly educated workforce, second to none. Our people must be competitive with in any part of the world. We want to create that workforce that we can provide world-class services right here to coincide with our philosophy, the philosophy that has been mentioned here as one of Qualfon's philosophy, where we can have good grounds. We have perfect grounds, we have common grounds for cooperation and working together, because we are both steeped in the same thing of trying to work to help to develop the quality of life of our people so that all can have a good life from the development in our country. And as the story was mentioned just now about the taxi driver, that is extremely important, that every single individual of our country, in whatever position they hold, must know that they are ambassadors to Guyana, that the impression they give people, it's important for us. And this humble taxi driver has made such an impression that has led to the developments that we have seen here. And that is a message I hope that the media will replicate. And it can serve as an example that all of us, no matter what position we hold, because there's a tendency, some people look at everything towards government. But no matter what position we hold in our society, in our life, that all of us can make a very important contribution once our objective is the same, to ensure that our country is among the best in the world. So once more, let me congratulate you on this important step that you've taken. I really, from the bottom of my heart, congratulate you, because it seems as if it was only yesterday that we were here turning the sod. And therefore, I take off my hat to the efficiency of your workforce that has now completed this in such a short period of time. And look forward to ensuring that the rest of the campus is completed in the shortest possible time. We have, in many ways, been doing our part in creating the technical and the workforce that can be trained and educated. We have developed a housing facility with thousands of people right nearby that can be employed close, which would be good for you and also good for us, that people can have more money in their pockets, because it can probably save them a lot of traveling distances to go to work. The catchment area on the East Bank corridor, has grown in population size because of the work of the Ministry of Housing, that it can make you can have a workforce close by to help with your efficiency and help with people coming to work on time and not caught in traffic. And we're working on the traffic part too, that we're going to connect the East Bank Highway with the East Coast Highway, so that we can make traveling and ease some of the congestion that we're beginning to see in our traffic. We're going to work too on Sheriff Street to have different flyovers and so on and so forth, so that we can ensure that traffic will move more swiftly, more efficiently, and people can get to work on time and lift their productivity at the workplaces, whether in government or in the private sector. So once more, congratulations, and we look forward to working with you in the future so that you can grow from strength to strength. Thank you for your attention.